What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Slaughter High. So you all already know I'm a big slasher fan. I especially love 80s slashers. So, it was inevitable that I would check out Slaughter High. I've never seen this movie before this time, and I've always been interested in checking it out. So I checked it out, and here are my thoughts. To be 100% honest, I just thought it was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. There were some things that the movie did really well, and then there were also a lot of lackluster elements that just didn't do it for me. So yeah, I just thought it was okay. It wasn't terrible by any means, but not one of my favorite 80s slashers. I probably wouldn't, watch this again, but I'm glad that I checked it out because there was some cool stuff going on. But anyways, now that I've given you all my overall thoughts, I'm going to jump into a little plot summary. So the movie starts out at this high school, and there's this kid, Marty. He's relentlessly bullied. He's kind of like a nerdy character, and basically this group of kids, they're pranking him, and while these kids are pranking him, Marty's doing this little science project, and they mess with his science project, and the prank goes wrong, and Marty is his science project goes crazy, and he gets acid on his face, and there's fire everywhere. He gets burned with acid. He's just burned and disfigured. The prank goes totally wrong. The kids didn't mean for that to happen. They were just messing with him. They were actually bullying him pretty bad. I think a little bit of pranking is cool, but they were going over the top with it. But anyways, they didn't mean to burn him and disfigure him, but yeah, the prank went wrong. He was left burned and disfigured, and then the movie jumps to the future, and all of the individuals who pranked Marty, they're going to their high school reunion. I believe it's their 10-year reunion, and they go to the school. The school is abandoned now. They're in the school having their reunion. They're partying, they're drinking, smoking, all that, having a good time. And then they start getting picked off by Marty because he's come back for revenge. So that is the basic plot summary. Now I'm going to get into just a bunch of random stuff. So I'm going to start out with some positive stuff, because like I said, there actually, were a lot of positive, enjoyable things going on in this movie, but there was also, just some lackluster stuff as well. So, what are you going to do? But anyways, I thought the kills in this movie were fantastic. For the most part, all of the kills were very creative, and the gore was on point. A lot of the time with 80s slashers, they're totally butchered by the MPAA, and we just get a bunch of cutaway kills. That is not the case in this movie at all. I'm gonna go over a couple standout kills. So there's this one kill where this gentleman, he's shotgunning a beer, and basically Marty put some sort of acid, some sort of chemical compound in the beer, and this dude's stomach starts to bulge, and it rips open, and just all of his intestines spill out. It looked so good. The practical effects on that looked fantastic. They must have got real animal intestines or something, because it looked super realistic. You know, a lot of the times in movies when you'll see, you know, someone's intestines, it looks so fake. It looks like rubber, or it looks like they just like literally got some sausages or something. That was not the case for this. This instance of this man's like intestines coming up, it looked so realistic. So that was really cool. But something that was weird about it was I was just thinking, like, how did Marty put the chemicals in the beer, because it was a closed can of beer. I don't, like, if it was a red Solo cup, like if it was like a cup of beer, I could get it, but it was a closed can. I don't understand how we got the acid in the beer. Like, everyone else was drinking the beers, they were fine. This thing, it was unopened. And then another thing that I thought was weird is like the way this guy shotgunned the beer. So, you know, usually the way you shotgun a beer is you kind of stab the bottom part on the side, and then you put that up to your mouth, and then you like crack the top open. This dude just like stabbed the top and did it like that. Like, I don't know who shotguns a beer like that, but I don't know. That's a serious plot hole, and I can't get over it. It ruined the movie for me. I mean, unrealistic beer shotgunning, not cool. But anyways, I'm just joking. But yeah, I was just like thinking about that. But yeah, I have no idea how he actually got the acid in the beer. It was a closed can, but who cares? I mean, I think I'm overthinking it. It's a slasher movie. Who the heck cares? It was a great kill. Another kill that was really good was there's this woman, and she's in this bathtub, and then once again Marty, you know, he's dabbling with the chemicals because he has that science chemistry background, so he just puts a bunch of chemicals through the bath water, and you see this woman, like, you see her skin melting, and the makeup effects are phenomenal. And then there's like a little bit of like stop motion on her face where her face decays. That looked a little bit fake, but it was still super cool. And then you see the aftermath, and she's just like a bloody skeleton, and they find her, and they're just like completely just like shocked and disgusted. So that kill was phenomenal. Super good practical effects, super creative. And then another kill that I liked, I didn't think it was like one of the best kills, but it just reminded me of a kill that I really liked from another movie, so I'm gonna point it out. So later on in the movie, there's this girl, and Marty like kicks her into this vat of sewage, and he's just like kicking her, like she's trying to get up, and he's just kicking her down. And that totally reminded me of the kill from Sleepaway Camp 2, where that one girl, I think her name's Allie, she like Angela is like stuffing her in the porta potty and drowning her in the porta potty. This was like very reminiscent of that. It wasn't as good as that kill. Like, it wasn't as good as the one from Sleepaway Camp 2, but it reminded me of that, so I had to give it a little shout out. Probably just because I wanted to shout out Sleepaway Camp 2, because that's like a god tier 80s slasher. But anyways, that kill, even though that kill was kind of lame, I liked the premise. It was still like creative, so gotta shout it out. Moving on, some other positives. I really liked the setup. You know, it was kind of a typical setup. Like, a lot of 80s slashers have a similar setup where someone is bullied, someone is wronged, they have to get revenge, or someone's disfigured, like, you know, in The Burning, Cropsey is burned and disfigured, and he goes crazy, and he wants to get revenge. Even though the setup was similar to a lot of other 80s slash movies, I kind of like that because of it, and I don't know, I like those setups where someone's like tormented and bullying, and not bullying, they're like tormented and bullied, and then they come back to get revenge. I like the whole revenge motive. It's kind of fun. So yeah, I really liked the setup. And then something else that I liked, I thought the setting was pretty darn cool. So they're in this like abandoned school, and it's all decrepit, and there's cobwebs everywhere. They were even joking like, it looks like Halloween in here. The setting was top notch, great setting. And then another little positive that I have before I get to the negatives is there was a couple references to other horror movies. So there's this like little brief scene where there's this guy in an office, and he's got a poster of the movie Pieces on his wall. That's a classic 80s slasher, and that's kind of more of an obscure one, but he's got a Pieces poster on his wall, so that bumps this movie up a couple notches. Like, they shouted out Pieces, like Pieces that's a straight classic, so that's awesome. And then there's this one instance where this one guy, he's rocking a hockey mask and he's scaring people, and then he references Jason. So I mean, come on, it's Jason. It's straight up horror icon, big three. They're shouting out Jason. That also bumps up this movie. So I liked the couple little horror references. Now I'm gonna move on to some negatives and then give my recommendation and head out. So I'm telling you what, I thought the lighting in this movie was terrible. It was like, I don't know if you all have seen the first Prom Night, but it was like almost like that. It wasn't as bad. The first Prom Night has like the worst lighting out of any movie ever. Like, that movie's so dark, you can't see anything. This isn't as bad as that, but it's kind of like that, where any like scene or sequence that takes place in the dark, you can like barely tell what's going on. Like, the lighting is terrible, and that kind of really brought the movie down for me. Another thing that brought the movie down is, you know, the in my opinion, the third act was pretty boring. You know, the third act is supposed to be the climax. It's supposed to be action packed. It's supposed to be high stakes. I don't know. By the time this movie got to the third act, I was kind of bored. And another thing that I didn't like about the third act is I didn't really care about the final girl. Like, she wasn't really built up as the final girl. She was only the final girl because she was pretty much the girl who like was most involved in the initial prank. Like, she pretended to Marty that she wanted to hook up with him, and then, you know, everyone saw him naked and all that. So like, it was significant for like her to face up against Marty, because he probably wanted to get revenge against her the most, but like, she was never built up as a final girl. I didn't really care about her, and that's another point I want to get into. Like, I didn't care about any of the characters. All the characters in this were lame. Like, I was kind of rooting for the killer, because all the characters, like, you know, it was one thing that they did this bad thing to Marty, but they like felt no remorse. Like, they were kind of joking about it, like, oh yeah, he went crazy, he's in a mental institution. Like, remember when we pulled that prank on him? Like, they didn't go check on him. They don't feel bad about this. I couldn't, you know, I couldn't like root for him. And then, just in addition to that, they were just lame. They were boring. I don't remember any of their names. None of them were like funny. There were no real like fun, memorable lines that they had besides like that little Jason line. So yeah, the characters were lame. And then there was just like a lack of fun moments overall. Like I said, I really enjoyed not the seller. I really enjoyed the setup of the movie, and like kind of like the killer's motive. I really enjoyed that, and I thought the kills were really good. I liked the setting, but there were like no fun moments. Like, a lot of times in slasher movies, you'll have fun, memorable, iconic moments, maybe some funny moments, but there was really none of that. Like, these characters were just boring. Like, there was nothing really going on. So that kind of brought the movie down for me. But yeah, those couple points were the last little points I wanted to touch on. So now I'm going to get into my recommendation and head out. So, like I said, I just thought this movie was okay. You know, there was some good stuff going on, but you know, there's so many other better 80s slasher movies. I would recommend this if you're a hardcore slasher fan. I would say this is worth watching once, but if you're just a casual slasher fan, I would say go ahead and skip this because, you know, other than you know, the kills and the beginning, there's really like not that much going on in this movie. So unless you're super hardcore into 80s slashers, I would say skip this one. So that's my little recommendation. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Slaughter High. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.